Hi, everyone, and another fantastic Monday. I think Monday is like, I know a lot of moms joke that Monday is their favorite day of the week because it's when the kids go back to school and get back into a routine of doing stuff without children in tow, which happens on the weekends. But I really don't like Mondays. I feel like if anything can go wrong during the week, it's usually on a Monday. And this has been one of the Mondayest of Mondays. And I know I've said that multiple times, but it has been. And usually I sit and I try and think of the things I'm going to talk about, make myself some little notes because I can get carried away and go on tangents, and then figure out what things I'm going to pull from my closet to show you. But I am so fired up right now about the topic I'm going to talk about that I don't even know if I can show you the stuff in my closet because I'm like heated. I am heated right now. Hi, Stace. So here's the situation. If you check up on the stuff that I post on my Wine and Cheez-Its page, I post whenever I publish an article. And I wrote an article last week that I posted on the Today Parenting Team site about mean moms. I don't know if anyone joining tonight saw it, but we have a real situation in general. And I don't think it matters where you live, what, I don't think it matters anything about you, your family, your kids. There are mean moms like everywhere. And so I wrote a whole article about how just there's these moms out here who always have something to say about everything. They have opinions about everything. You're not doing anything right. The way they do it with their kids, whether it's sleeping, eating, whatever, they know the best. And those moms make me insane. So obviously, I think growing up as a girl and a woman, you experience mean girls throughout your life. And I say this to my daughter all the time. Whenever she complains about a little girl being mean, I say to her, throughout the rest of your life, even when you're an adult, you're going to deal with mean women. Women can just be mean. They can. Men can be jerks and women can be mean. Everyone just has, the capability to have that bad side of them. And it's just really ugly. So, so it's making me crazy. So, just now, I'm getting like a little bit upset. Just now, I noticed on a local Facebook group, and Sarah, you're here. I just saw you sign on. Sarah, I can't with these women. I can't either. So on a local Facebook group, some mom commented posted asking, what tablet would you recommend for her? I don't know if she had a 2-year-old, a toddler. She said, what tablet would you recommend for a toddler? So it was a bit 50-50 split. Some people who commented were like, oh, I got the Kindle, I got this. Then you have the sanctimommies who swoop in and they start judging this poor woman and they're telling her, they're putting links to ADD studies about screen time, and they're telling her that she needs to take her kids to the park and not put on an iPad. And hi, Mia. And I cannot stand anything more than women or moms who impose their judgments on someone else. This isn't someone she was friends with. Like, it'd be one thing if I was having a conversation with a girlfriend and I was like, oh, I'm thinking of getting, this iPad. First of all, none of my friends would ever say, don't do it. That's ridiculous. You're a horrible parent. They would say, oh, well, I found with my son or daughter, this is what goes on with the iPad. But these women like came after this stranger, basically telling her how to parent her child. The woman just wants to get her kids a screen because, number one, everyone has a screen. Every kid in every school has a screen. They're like coming out with them. It's like they may as well just give them out in the hospital. Okay, kids have screens. Get used to it. It's up to you how much you want to police that, but kids are being exposed to screens, whether it's at home, at school, they're on computers. Let's just like stop pretending that kids cannot have screen time. How you monitor that screen time is 100% on you because you are their parent. But these women are like giving her all this unsolicited advice when the poor woman, who I don't even know, by the way, just asked what tablet she should get. And she's being like raked over the coals for even God forbid her 2-year-old have a tablet. Let me tell you something. There are times where I need to make dinner for my family and put something on the table, or I need to write an article and I'm on deadline. And guess what I do? I give my toddler my phone to watch videos of herself because it's cute that she's vain. It's not narcissistic yet. It's cute. And she literally just watches videos for, I don't know, like a solid 10 minutes so that I can actually put dinner on the table. And I have no shame in that. And nobody should have shame in that. You do what works. Motherhood is hard. If your kid needs a little screen time so that you can go pee by yourself or do a little bit of work or do something where you don't have a child attached to you, then you do it if that's what you want to do. And stop judging mothers who do it. It is so obnoxious. Mia, that's awful. I hate when people make judgments like that. I agree, and it happens all the time. And I'll tell you right now, there were a number of groups I was on Facebook when I first moved down here. Hi, Sharon. When I first moved down here, because I love social media for the connections that you make. I do feel like there's so much good, whether it's personal or professional. I've gotten business from Facebook. I've reconnected with old friends from Facebook, and I think there's a lot of pluses, but you deal with the annoying people. So here's the thing. There were a couple of groups that I was in when I first moved down to South Florida, and I joined them immediately because I was told they were such great resources for other mothers locally, whether it was to find a preschool, a tailor, a bakery that made gluten-free, whatever. I have left so many of those groups because I cannot stand the moms. I can't stand how quick they are to pass judgment. I can't stand how quick they are to not stay in their lane, and they see someone post about a topic that literally has zero controversy, but they make it controversial because they start putting news links. It is so obnoxious, and they have too much time on their hands. Sarah, did you see the one who just was coming at me? No, I didn't, but I'll be on and I'll take care of her too. Just stop being so mean. Stay in your lane. We all have shit, okay? Motherhood is so hard. Whether you're happily married, whether you're separated, whether you're divorced, whether you have 1 kid or 20 kids, motherhood is hard, and we should all be helping each other, and we should all be there for each other. And it doesn't mean you have to agree with everyone. Tara, what's up, girlfriend? Wanted to say hi, miss you. Hi, so good to hear from you. I'm just bitching about mean moms. That's all. Nothing new. I mean, we both live in Boca. You know how it goes. But anyway, so this whole rant stemmed from my friend Sarah, who's on now, who was responding to a Facebook post from this poor soul who, God forbid, put out there that she was looking for a tablet for her kid. I don't even remember her name. Alice, Alicia, whoever you are, get that iPad, get 2 of them, get one and donate it. Do whatever you want. And you let your kids sit on that screen as long as you want, and don't listen to any of these mean moms. And here's what I've found about mean moms from my personal experience. When I first moved down here, and my older daughter went to a preschool, and I wrote about this in the article. I need to give a little disclaimer. I'm a girl's girl. I have had girlfriends my whole life. Since Stacy, who's on here now, has been one of my closest friends since I am in kindergarten. I have a really good track record with girlfriends. I'm not bitchy to them unless they, are bitchy to me, then I give it right back. Right, Stace? But I've had a long track record with girlfriends. When I moved down here and I met a lot of the moms where my older daughter was in school, I had a very hard time connecting. We just weren't the same. And it wasn't even at that point, I didn't see it as, a good or a bad thing. We just were different. I wasn't connecting. I wasn't driving a nice enough car. I wasn't living in a giant mansion. I was just, regular middle class, and I just didn't fit in with them and their speed. I made a few friends who I love and to this day I'm still in touch with, but I didn't have a great experience. And what made it even worse was they started to get mean. When people found out I was getting divorced, people were coming out of the woodwork just trying to get information. Oh, do you know anything? What happened? First of all, it's none of your business. It's none of your business what happened. Hey, Steph, you're late but here, and I agree so much. I'm glad you agree. I feel like anyone who checks in with the stuff on Wine and Cheese It's page would probably agree with this, because I feel like I'm surrounded by my people. Even if we don't do things the same, I think we all have very similar mindsets. And one of those major things is we don't shame each other for our decisions as parents, because you don't need to do that. But I have had my fair share of experiences with mean moms who are so judgmental, have something to say about everything, and forget about it if you get divorced. Especially, I don't know where everybody is from. I know there's a handful of people in South Florida, but if you get divorced in South Florida, oh my God, you will be dinner conversation for the preschool moms, the PTA. They'll pretend they're not talking, but they are, because everybody wants to know what's going on, because they are fueled by gossip. So I experienced that with my older child. It sucked. I hated it. I closed myself off from a lot of the women there because I did not want to, I didn't want to waste my time. My time is so limited. I work, I have now 2 children. I have a husband who I love. And I just didn't want that to take up space in my head, but it's hard sometimes. Annie, I adore you too. Hi, Lynn. But it is so frustrating when we are all as mothers just trying to get through the day and get through meltdowns and get through people not wanting to eat dinner that we make them, and get through people not wanting to go to bed when we tell them. And now we have to deal with other asshole mothers who are going to infuse their opinions in such an aggressive way as if you're doing something wrong. Listen, stay in your lane and stop telling every mother what to do about screen time and picky eaters and sleep. There's a difference between giving someone constructive advice and things that have worked for you and being an asshole. And those people on that Facebook thread that I just talked about in the beginning are assholes. There's no reason you should ever make someone feel bad for their choices about their child, okay? Unless it affects your child or the population or it's dangerous. That's a different story. But even then, just be classy about it. Don't like go and put those people on blast. You don't have to be a jerk. Hi, Eden and Bessie. Yes to all of this. I know it is so maddening. And I see it all the time, not just with like real people like us, but you see these poor celebrities who go and they pierce their kid's ear, or they kiss their kids on the mouth, or they, put a picture of their kid in the bathtub with their little toddler boobs showing, and people go for the jugular and want to like make a case out of them. Who cares? Everyone just stop being so hard on each other. This is like part of the problem, I think, in the world in general. I'm using motherhood as this small little like microcosm, but we are all in each other's business. And guess what? I don't want you in my business. If I want you in my business, I will share. I am an open book. You guys see that on a regular basis, that I'm pretty open about a lot of things in my life. But if I'm not talking about something, it's because it's not your business. I don't want to. Haley. And don't forget that some divorced moms continue to deal with exes who are assholes to you. Preach, sister. Stacy, these women that you speak of are probably controlled by their husbands and constantly told what to do, and so this is the way they react. So here's you're spot on, and it's really interesting. And Haley, you'll probably relate to this. So for those of you who live under a rock and don't know, I am divorced, but I'm remarried. I'm actually with my current husband. We will soon celebrate our 4-year wedding anniversary. Very happily married. We had a second baby. We have a blended family. It's messy and chaotic and crazy, but it's life, and it is what it is. But when I got divorced, when I first moved down here, I would get these same mean moms that I'm talking about, who I met in the preschool world. Some of them started to private message me. What's the term all the kids use? They'd slide into my DM. They would slide into my DM and they would be like, hey, I know we're not that close, or I know we're not friendly. I want to be like, that's an understatement, but I'll allow it. Keep going. How did you know it was time? How did you know that you were ready to get divorced? How did you know that it would be okay? And I always said the same thing to these people. I will never, ever, ever say to someone, oh, you should totally get divorced. It's great, because it's not great. It sucks. It's really hard. It's hard for the rest of your life, no matter how amicable you are. There are logistics. And then when both sides meet other people, there's more logistics. And then kids get older and they ask questions, and it's messy. It just is. All those people who want to pretend it's perfect, it's not. And I recognize there's extenuating circumstances, but it is really, really, really hard. So I would always say to people, if you have children, if you don't have children, cut and run and get out. If you have children, you fight tooth and nail and you try to save your marriage, because it is very, very difficult to be divorced, even under the best circumstances possible. But only you know in your heart when you can do it. It's not something anyone can answer. And frankly, if you have a friend saying to you, you need to get divorced, that's not a friend, because someone can't make that decision for you. So I would have all these moms message me saying, I heard you're getting divorced. How did you know? All that stuff. And the interesting part is that they're part of these bigger gaggle of big, girl groups at the school who are made up of these mean girls, but they probably weren't going to them because they don't want to show cracks in the facade. So they come to the peon who nobody gives a shit about, who's getting divorced, and they know she's living in the trenches, to ask for my advice. It's super ironic, but it happens all the time. I think in life, when you go through something that is has any kind of stigma or taboo or whatever, people go to someone quietly who they know is not going to say something. I would never mention these people by name. I would never blow up their spot, but just understand that I'm not dumb. I know you're coming to me if we're not friends because you're afraid to talk to your real friends. And that's totally fine, because like I said, I am a girl's girl and I don't want anyone to suffer, and I will be there and answer your questions. But it is incredibly frustrating to see the level of aggressiveness and mean spirit behavior that comes out of these women who I think are, many of them are probably very miserable in their own lives, and maybe it's an involuntary outlet, I don't know, but they have so much to say about things that are none of their business. And I have something else to say about that, but I'm missing comments. Hold on. Zainul, you're awesome. Preach. Kind supportive moms only. Yes, agreed. Hi, Carla. Kelly, a lot of these women also probably exaggerate about how perfectly they parent anyway. No fruit snacks, right, Brenda? Yeah, Brenda's a liar. Brenda's giving her kids fruit snacks for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Kelly. Haley says, yep, I've called myself the divorce guru because they come out of the woodworks. Me too. I'm the divorce guru of South Florida. Stacy, sorry, best decision I ever made. I know. I'm not saying you can't come out of it and be like, okay, this is exactly what I feel. I love my current husband. I would be lost without him. He's incredible, but it's still hard logistically to be in a blended family sometimes. Just shit happens. It's just real life. Stephanie says, I think those kinds of comments and threads are part of the problem of how many moms feel guilt. Even if we're not posting about a tablet, for example, someone who gives it to their kid then feels guilty because of the comments on another thread. Correct. The mom guilt doesn't just come from inside you. We all have mom guilt, but it's these other moms who constantly have to pick and dig and have something to say. And I forgot who said it. Maybe it was Haley. I don't know. Someone just said that they probably, oh no, it was Nicole, right? Kelly, that they probably are not parenting perfect either. 100%. You can almost tell. It's like transparent. You can see these women's insecurities when they start bashing you for something because you know they're doing it. It's like when they're like, oh, you shouldn't eat all those carbs. It's not good for you. Guess what? Debbie's probably pounding a bread basket from the Olive Garden in her closet that she picked up on the way from softball practice. Okay. That's what's going on. So here's another facet to that whole mean mom thing. My older daughter her dad and I have been separated since she's a toddler. And so she was very, very young, thankfully, which was almost a blessing in disguise. But as she got older, and as we live in an area that, although I love South Florida and it's my hometown and I love Boca, there are obnoxious women here who just don't know. There are obnoxious women everywhere, but in this area, they're very intrusive. They feel like they have a right to know what is going on in your life, and they're going to ask very intrusive questions. Let me give you a little boundary setter. If we're not friends or we don't start to develop a rapport, you are not to ask my kid why her parents got divorced. And if you're thinking that sounds crazy, the amount of times that has happened where strangers who I don't know, where my kid is at a birthday party or a play date or wherever it is, will say to my daughter, oh, are your parents divorced or married? And then this kid has to like get uncomfortable and be like, oh, they're divorced. And then they start with oh, I'm so sorry. Do you want to talk about it? No, she doesn't want to talk about it. You're not a therapist. Stop asking questions. And I can't even believe this still happens. I can't even believe that there are people who think that it's okay to ask questions like that. It's the same morons who will see a couple who's married and they don't have a baby yet, and they'll start going, oh, why don't you have any kids? Well, listen, have you ever thought that maybe they're having marital problems? Maybe she can't get pregnant. Maybe she's doing IVF. Maybe they don't want to have children. Everyone takes these questions they think are so innocent, but when you're in the thick of it and you're not in a good situation, or you're struggling in professionally or personally, you don't want to be asked those questions. So try this next time. Mind your own business and stop being so bored in your own life that you have to get the details on somebody else's. If I sound fired up, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm really aggressive right now. I'm sorry. Stacy, I think if I got caught up in what other people thought about my parenting about me, I would have to be committed. I know. Eden, shut the fuck up. About which part? Hi, Rach. Stacy says that is, I know. Bessie, that's creepy. Why would someone ask a child that? I'm telling you, it happens all the time. And it happened recently with parents who I don't know. My daughter was just playing there with a lovely little girl who she knows. And she came home very upset and was like, they kept asking me. And I was so proud of her. Her dad and I said, well, what did you say? And she said, I told them, no, I'm over it. And whether she is or isn't, doesn't matter. It's not their business. But just the fact that she handled it that way and was so, to me, that's the only way to shut down the conversation from a child's point of view, because you're not going to start opening up to a stranger. It's so obnoxious. They're always going to be there, and I get it. But the problem is that there's women like this who are raising children and daughters. And guess what's going to happen to those daughters who are being raised by women who have no boundaries, who cannot stay in their lane, who cannot mind their own business, who have something to say about everything? It's going to keep like replicating itself, and it sucks. Eden, the people asked her why her parents were divorced. Yep, they sure did. Rachel says, I'll cut a bitch. Hi, Kate. People are gross. Stacy, if I ever found out that someone asked my kid that, there'd be a big problem. Okay, so let me ask your opinion. So I find this out. It's happened for years, but I found out about incident recently. And to me, as much as it may seem jump into conclusions, I have never in my life asked a child, oh, are your parents married or divorced? That is like the stupidest question I've ever heard in my life. If a child volunteers that to me, I'll say, oh, I'm divorced also. Ava, she splits time between me and her dad, just to have like a point of reference and make them feel comfortable. But never in a million years would I ever ask a child her parents' marital status. So to me, anyone who's going to do that, no matter what their intentions are, is missing some kind of chip where they know they have like a moral compass. It's not your business, especially when her parents aren't there and you have her alone and you're asking her with her parents not present. There's no other way to decipher that other than you are digging for information. And that is so many shades of fucked up. I don't even know where to start. Bessie, I've only ever asked a child about their family life when I was a teacher and needed to know why a child was behaving a certain way. Makes perfect sense. Other than that, I've never, what the fuck? I'd never just ask a kid something personal. That takes balls seriously. Yes, it does. So here's my question. I don't know these people other than, I've never even seen them. I couldn't pick them out of a crowd. The Rachel inside me wants to obviously like go into tiger mom mode, but I would never embarrass my child like that or say anything. However, I do feel like it's not my child's responsibility to set boundaries, and I'm supposed to protect her. Her dad's supposed to protect her. And we have a little bit of a differing, we were talking about it tonight, like whether we say something or not. I feel like there's nothing wrong with saying, listen, she had a great time at the play date, but I want to, just put it out there and be honest. She mentioned that you were asking about our divorce, and we really would prefer that. That's a very personal matter, and if she wants to talk about it, that's one thing, but we're not comfortable with someone just asking her questions about that. Now, I'm not dumb. I know whoever this person is would be like, oh, no, it was totally innocent. It's not innocent. Okay. I'm not, I may be tired and sleep deprived and have bags for days under my eyes, but like, I'm street smart and I have a master's degree. I'm educated on both levels. I'm not a moron, and I don't live in a cave. Rachel, I had a mom say something like this to me when my parents split, and I've never forgotten. I'm still resentful to her when I see her because it's not okay. And I'm curious, how old were you when that happened? And do you remember what you said to her? And did you come home and tell your parents, and did they do anything about it? I need more details about that. Sharon, Rachel, hold on. You leave it alone and tell your girl how she handled it. Stacy, nothing innocent about that. You just don't go there with a child. So that's what her dad says. He thinks that we should just let it go, and she handled herself so well, and just keep reinforcing that that's what she should do. But it's I am not a fake person. So it's very hard for me to imagine having to potentially be in the same place with this woman and say something. Rachel, you were 12. Okay. I'm curious. Did you say anything to her? Did you already answer that? You leave it alone. Okay. So that's like my soapbox about Mean Girls. Like, I don't understand. I don't know what you're gaining from it. Not that I don't know what you're gaining. I know the psychology behind it. There's something lacking in your lives. And so you're basically creating drama somewhere else to distract from that, or to give yourself something to do. You're bored or you're miserable in your own life and you can't address it. So you decide to mess with someone else's. Stacy says, put that bitch in her place. Stacy has been the same since she's 5 years old, and I love her for it. Rachel, I told my mom never mentioned, but we discussed how wrong the mom was. Every situation is different, but I agree with you. And you'll see, Rach, because you're going to have a baby of your own any day now. You're going to have this precious little boy. And I know everyone says this, but it's so true. Something happens to you when you become a mother, and this switch flips and you basically go into like protective mode. Oh, it's a good thing my mom didn't hear that whole conversation, because she'd be going all Jersey and she'd be like, give me your number, I'm going to call her. Rachel says the mom is probably very jealous of you. I love that you think that, but I've never laid eyes on her. I don't even know if she knows my name, so I don't think she knows who I am. you know, anything about me, what my personality is, what my life is. I don't think she knows anything. Who knows, unless she stalked me. I stalk everyone on social media when my kid is hanging out with them because I want to see what's going on. Mom, we're talking about mean moms. If you have anything to chime in about, but I just can't take it anymore. And so what prompted, I didn't even know what I was going to talk about tonight. I was going to come in and do my same, you know, happy little chats and pull stuff out of my closet, but I got so fired up when I saw my friend Sarah, who I don't know if she's still here, who commented on the Facebook group of the mom asking for a tablet. So here's some, Stacey says I'm shaking my head and so fired up. I know, I am so fired up. Wait, hold on, it's going too fast. Rachel, social media baby, she probably knows you're a fox. I am a fox. Yeah, look at me. I am totally foxed up. Bessie, oh my God, yes, I've never been confrontational, but since having kids, I go toe to toe with anyone, the principal, a random person at the store, anyone that comes for my kids. Stacy wants her number. So I've always had fire in me, always. Like if someone messes with my family, I'm not going to pretend like it only happened when I'm a mother. But when I became a mother, that, I mean, my mom's jerseyness that I joke about is definitely inside me. Romy, I'm sorry I missed the whole story. Oh, go back. It's a good one. Watch it on the replay. You'll appreciate it because I probably have like veins bulging out of my forehead when I'm talking about it. I've told this story before, and it's not like a major story, but it's indicative of what happens when you're a mother. When I first moved down here, I took Ava to a very big park in the area that has those dueling like water guns, the big like high-powered stream. And she was like barely 3. I think she was like 2.5. She had her little bathing suit and the ugly little water shoes we make our kids wear so they don't burn their precious little feet. And I'm standing next to her and she's playing with one of the water guns. And this little boy walks up to the opposing one, and he was probably her age now. He was like 8 or 9. And he takes the water gun and just purposely aims it right for her face, nailed her right in the face. She's like stunned. I pick her up, I put her to the side. I don't even know what happened. I like left my body. I picked her up, I put her to the side. I took that water gun and I shot that kid right in the face with the water gun. And I looked at him, I said, you pick on someone your own size. Could I handle it differently? Maybe. Do I regret it? Not even a little bit, because if he had a parent who was nearby watching, which I waited a couple seconds to see if someone would come and get him, they would have taken care of it. If I saw my kid nailing another kid in the face with a water gun with like, you know, purposely trying to do it, I would rip her away from that water gun and we would leave the park. So I don't regret it. No regrets. Sharon says, you're just clicking in. Stacey, I think it's come out recently, Rach, maybe from all the BS. Michelle, good for you. It is so upsetting. But mom, I can't go into the whole story. Go back and watch it on the replay. I'm just talking about mean moms and how they just have no boundaries. Basically, Sarah commented on something in a Facebook group with other moms about a mother asking what tablet she should get for her 2-year-old, and people came for her like she was going to give her child crack cocaine. That's what happened. And it happens all the time with a lot of things. Like I don't even want to get into it because I don't want people to start sending me mail on their opinions, because frankly, I don't care. I want you to parent your child and I want you to let me parent my child. And unless I ask you for your opinion, I don't want to know. I don't want to know what you think I'm doing wrong. I don't want to know what you think I'm doing right. I want you to just stay in your lane and worry about yourself and worry about the tablet you're going to get your kids. And don't be going on these Facebook groups trolling other mothers to judge them for their decisions. Find something else to do with your time. I don't know. Go take a yoga class, go read a book, maybe a self-help book about how to like get rid of some anger, but just stop being so angry. I can't take it. Good for you. I would have done the same thing and then some. I know you would have, Stace. You're a savage like I am, but you have I can talk myself down. I feel like once you get fired up, you're done. My mom says MYOB. I'm surprised she even knew that acronym. Oh, Daley's here. Dale, you probably see a fair share of this being on the bar and bat mitzvah circuit. Lots of mean moms, crazy moms who are yentas and can't mind their own business. That's what we're talking about tonight. Hi, Desiree. My mom says hi, Dale. Oh my goodness, read a book. No, seriously, Michelle, like these women have so much time on their hands to judge other people's parenting. Go to Barnes and Noble, Okay, go scope out some books, kill some time, go online on Amazon. Amazon Prime is great. Go spend the money that you're, hoarding in your house when you're driving your Maserati and your Louboutins to pick up your kid at 9 o'clock in the morning from preschool, and go buy yourself a Kindle and read some things that will make you feel better about yourself, so that you don't attack some poor mother who just wanted to know what tablet to buy her kid. Okay, I can't. Dale, no comment. I know it would be an occupational hazard for you. Desiree says, hi, love, because they're miserable. That's what we said, Michelle. I think the women, and I think when you're in it, I think when you're on the receiving end of it, when I've been on the receiving end of someone acting mean to me, it's very easy to in retrospect say, oh, they did it because they're miserable in their own lives and they're looking for a distraction. I get all that, but when you're in it, it hurts and it sucks, and it takes a really thick skin. And as much as I can put on a front sometimes for my kids and show them the right way to do things, I have my moments too where people have made me feel this big, people close to me and strangers, and it is such a shitty feeling. And I don't know why mothers do it to each other, but it is so ridiculous, because we are in the trenches together and we don't have to agree on everything, but just stop being assholes about it. Just agree to disagree and treat each other with respect, period. Unless your child is like going into a classroom and like biting every single child in their path and pulling hair and giving them wedgies and just being a little jerk, then, we're all just trying to survive here. So let's just remember that and be kind to each other and stop judging. And this is the reason I think I'm in like 2 Facebook groups now that are revolved around mothering. I had to leave all of them. I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't deal with like the judgment. I couldn't deal with people taking pictures of their kids' diapers. I couldn't deal with taking pictures of their rashes and instead of calling a doctor. I couldn't deal with any of it. I just could not deal. Michelle, I have been the victim of really mean mom move, where I was excluded overnight from a friendship, but what was worse was me being hurt, was how much it hurt my child. Yep. Ava loves me to go after the assholes, my mom says. That's true. Michelle says, how do we stop that? Desiree, kindness goes a long way. Romy, where is the sisterhood? So here's what I've learned is that not everyone wants to be in the sisterhood. And I don't know why, because it's a fucking great sisterhood. Nobody is more fun and compassionate and understanding than a group of mothers. When I get together with my friends who have kids, whether it's my childhood friends or the new friends that I've met who our babies are all together, there's such a common ground already because we're all doing the same thing. And so we can relate to each other on so many levels. And it's like going on a really good date. It's going on a date with someone where you have stuff in common. And even if you're not, exactly the same and you have differences, you're going to have so many things to talk about. And so it's frustrating. So I think the problem is that there are those of us who willingly want to be in the sisterhood. I am one of them. I'm pretty sure everybody who's commenting and joining this conversation is one of them. And so if you are watching now, if you watch on the replay and you feel like you are lacking that sisterhood, there are so many women, including myself, who are happy to be part of that conversation in a very non-judgmental way. Dale says, why am I in a safe room? Welcome to Monday Nights, Dale. This is my shtick, okay? People like it. Don't make fun. I'm live from my closet because I did it one time. I went live from my closet one time because it's the only place in my house where I can be behind a closed door and my children don't bother me, except for 2 weeks ago, Ava hijacked my show and I couldn't lose my shit on her because I was live. And so I had to let her sit with me. And it was like a beautiful disaster. So it became a thing. And now I'm live from my closet every Monday night. Welcome to the party. Hi, Randy. Romy says, you don't have to parent the same way, just support and listen to each other. We are all trying our best to raise good humans. Amen. Sharon says, I want to meet Dale. Dale's laughing at me. That's indicative of me and Dale's relationship. Desiree, you are a big part of my amazing village. Oh, Desiree, you are a part of my amazing village too. I love my village. I love nothing more than bitching to my girlfriend sometimes about some stupid thing that my kids did or wouldn't eat or, made happen at school. There's nothing, you need that. Everyone needs that commonality. So let's try this, okay? Let's go back old school to what our parents used to tell us and say, if you have nothing nice to say, Don't say anything at all, and definitely don't say it on social media when some poor woman is just looking for advice on an iPad for her 2-year-old. It's not your 2-year-old. Your 2-year-old doesn't have to watch an iPad if you don't want, and that's fine too, but just stop caring what everybody else's does, okay? I feel like I'm going to keep going in circles and you guys are going to get sick of what I have to say. That's basically it. I made notes and I think that's it. Yeah, I was going to ask like what you guys think, what some of the must-haves for the holidays for like a tween girl is, because I'm struggling over here, but I don't even feel like that fits into the conversation. I feel like we had a really good conversation. I love everybody who was here tonight chiming in. I love too that everybody's on the same page, because I feel like I know we don't all have the same parenting styles here. We all do things differently, but I love the fact that we can all come together and have this conversation and agree that everyone just needs to be kind to one another. You don't know what people are dealing with. You don't know what's going on personally or professionally. You don't know what struggles people are having. So instead of being so quick to jump on somebody for something they post on social media where they're looking for a very innocuous piece of advice, just be nice. If you don't think that it's okay for kids to have iPads, that's okay. You're allowed to think that. You don't get to tell everyone else that. You don't get to start posting links to ADD studies from kids looking at iPads. Calm the fuck down, Susan. Stacy, table that for next week. Yes. Michelle, and on a high note, Stephanie, some of the best groups I'm part of our large family mom groups. I think we all just don't have enough time to worry about other people's kids. Obviously, that's not exclusive to large family moms, but if anyone is seeking mom friends, a large family mom is probably a sure bet for not being judgmental. Very true. Michelle's laughing at me. Dale's saying, be nice. Yes. Are you telling me to be nice, or are you agreeing that we should all be nice? Because I do think we should be nice. So that's it, guys. I'm going to end my rant. I'm going to step down off my soapbox, but maybe next time when you are, I know none of these people would do it because you are all gems, but maybe next time, to the person who's stalking this silently, thinking that they want to comment, but they're afraid they're going to get trolled by every single person on here who agrees with me. Maybe next time, before a mean mom goes onto Facebook and rails into another mother for her decision that has nothing to do with her, she'll think twice. It's not your kid. It's not your kid. Okay. So just worry about yourself. It's like parenting 101, and we will all be just fine. And if you have an issue with mean moms coming after you, don't ever let them win. You're better than them. They're just miserable people who are taking out their own insecurities on you. You're doing a great job. All of you are doing a wonderful job. I don't even know what you're doing, and I can tell you you're doing a great job. Did your kid have goldfish for dinner? You're doing a great job. Did your child even eat dinner? Because my toddler ate no dinner tonight, refused dinner, went to bed. She's going to be just fine in the morning. We are all doing the best we can. So let's stop judging each other for all of those choices and have a kumbaya moment, and everyone just get it together and stop being so mean. Because you mean mothers who are being mean to all these people here who are sharing stories, if you have daughters, you're going to raise mean little girls, and that cycle is going to keep perpetuating itself, and that sucks. So just stop it. Stacy, on that note, I have to get my kid to bed. Okay, bye. Love you. Dale says, if you need help, blink twice. I am not in a safe room. I'm in my closet. This is my happy place because nobody else could fit in here with me except Marnie sat her tush next to me last week, and that was fun. Ashley, isn't that what we tell our kids? Worry about yourself. Some women just can't mind their business. It's true. They can't. All right, guys, I have to, this is not healthy for me. I need to like take a deep breath. I'm going to drink you want to judge me? I'm drinking a McDonald's Diet Coke with extra ice because McDonald's makes the best Diet Coke. And yes, I'm aware it's 9 o'clock at night. Guess what? I'm an adult. I don't have school tomorrow. I can do that. Everyone have a great Monday. I'm sorry I didn't show you anything from my closet, but I don't even know how I would tie that into this conversation. But everyone just say, oh, Dale, hi, Sharon, we just met. Are you going to sing the lyrics from Call Me Maybe? Because I feel like that would be more you than just saying, hi, we just met. Everyone have a great Monday. Please join me again next Monday. And as always, I love talking to you guys and I love these conversations. So please continue to tune in. Thank you guys for all the support. And if you haven't already, go back on my Facebook page. I am nominated for the best parenting blogger by the South Florida Bloggers Union. I would so appreciate your vote. It takes like 2 seconds. So it's on my page, probably a few down, but I'll repost in a few days. I would so appreciate your vote. I love all of you guys. Thank you for spending this Monday with me. Dale, you're in the driveway getting a sundae at McDonald's. Enjoy. All right. Bye, everyone.